comes to the raw power of Mother Nature, there isn't much that tops lightning strikes. A lightning strike may last less than a second, but for some savvy camera people, they were filming in the right spot and the right time. To see just how powerful and amazing lightning strikes can be, we've gathered 5 of the most impressive videos around the web. From volcanic lightning to starting house fires, here are 5 powerful lightning strikes that were caught on camera. You never know where lightning might land. It could strike somewhere in the middle of an empty field, or it could hit a building. Unfortunately for the homeowner in this video, they fell in the latter category. The video starts out with him just filming his dogs coming into his house to protect them from the storm beginning to rage.
Hurry up! You better get back in here. That's enough of that, huh?
If you watch the clip carefully, you notice a lightning strike in the background. From what we can tell, this is the strike that hit his neighbor's home, setting it on fire. Fortunately, firefighters are already on the scene trying to contain the damage. Firefighters abide by their training and try to enter the front of the house to contain the fire from inside. This is a common technique used by fire departments to prevent a fire from spreading to other buildings nearby. It's not long before a vast plume of smoke comes out, making it difficult to ascertain where the firefighters have gone. Eventually, they do manage to get the fire under control. It doesn't appear as though anyone was inside during the time the fire broke out. No injuries were reported, and the fire was able to be contained relatively quickly thanks to the brave, swift efforts of those firefighters. A Florida woman either captured the occurrence of a rare positive lightning bolt occurring outside of her home, or she witnessed Doc Brown and Marty traveling back to the future. In May of 2019, a series of thunderstorms rolled through South Florida. One woman recorded the storms to show her family who lived in other states just how bad it was getting near her. At that moment, a positive lightning strike occurs, which is, well, we'll let the video speak for itself.
I don't know what you guys have going on, but this is my house. And oh my God!
It almost sounds as though firecrackers are going off right outside her apartment. Speaking to a local news station afterward, she exclaimed, "It was crazy. Very scary, very loud. It was just the right place at the right time. I could probably never in my life get something like that again." She said the lightning damaged a concrete dumpster enclosure directly outside, but luckily, no one was hurt. Now, at this point, you might be asking yourself, what exactly is positive lightning? It is a particularly dangerous form of lightning that originates toward the top of a thunderstorm. The top of thunderclouds are positive charges, and the lightning can travel as much as 25 miles away to the ground, which contains a negative charge. Since positive lightning travels so much farther than negative lightning, it tends to be much more powerful. As a result, it is much deadlier because it has double the volts and 10 times the amps as negative lightning. It's extremely rare for positive lightning to occur. Between 5 and 10% of all lightning strikes are positive. However, it has a much higher fatality rate. There is a reason positive lightning is often referred to as a bolt from the blue. It can come out of nowhere, which is just one more reason why you want to get out of harm's way when a thunderstorm is nearby. On May 27, 2019, Russia launched the Roscosmos Soyuz 21B rocket. The purpose of this launch was to deliver a navigation satellite into orbit. Everything seemed to be going according to plan for the first few seconds, that is, until a lightning strike came out of nowhere and directly hit the rocket. The truly remarkable thing is that the lightning did not slow down the rocket in the slightest. Dmitry Rogozin, a director at Roscosmos, posted the video onto his Twitter account by saying, "Lightning is not an obstacle to you," and he congratulated the team on a successful launch. Even with a full-force lightning strike making contact with the projectile, it continued on its path as though nothing happened. The rocket merely continued on its 3.5-hour journey into Earth's low orbit, and it was able to deliver its payload on schedule. The Russian Ministry of Defense claimed the rocket was completely fine. A statement from the communications department said the rocket maintained a stable telemetric connection and all of the onboard systems were fully operational. The event is noteworthy because rocket launches are typically scheduled to occur when the skies are clear, so that there are as few obstructions as possible. However, you can't always control the weather, and you never know when a storm will come through a city. In fact, while the weather was cloudy on the launch date, it was not a storm, which is why the team proceeded with the launch. On June 23, 2010, a series of terrible storms began to come through Chicago. The storm began in the early evening. One vigilant Chicagoan was working in his office trying to catch up on some work to try to avoid rush hour traffic. Later, he returned home, and his sister's boyfriend asked him if he was watching the lightning going on outside. He grabbed his camera and tripod to record the events going on, and it was here that he witnessed an incredible event. Lightning came down and struck 3 of the tallest buildings in Chicago at the same time. The Willis Tower, Trump International Hotel and Tower, and the John Hancock Building were all hit simultaneously, making for a wondrous display along the Chicago skyline. The cameraman even shows the video at 1/16th the speed, so you can really see the lightning coming down. It almost looks like a painting the way it perfectly aligns and hits the buildings. Lightning hitting tall buildings is fairly common. In fact, the Empire State Building in New York is typically hit about 25 times every year from lightning strikes. It's even been known to be hit up to a dozen times in a single storm. While lightning hitting a tall building may not be anything to write home about, lightning hitting 3 buildings at the same time all in one camera frame sure is something marvelous to behold. And it all came down to the cameraman being in the right place at the right time to capture the rare event on film. We've discussed the 2020 tall volcano eruption in depth on our channel not too long ago. However, it's worth talking about again just for the incredible video footage that came out surrounding the eruption. Some of the most vibrant imagery came from this video clip, showcasing all of the volcanic ash emitting from the volcano, which triggered a lightning storm. Volcanic lightning is nothing too out of the ordinary. It occurs as a result of the plume of ash coming out of the volcano. These particles collide and rub up against one another, resulting in charged volcanic particles. It's a similar property to how you end up with static electricity after rubbing your socks against carpet. To get lightning from this phenomenon, the charged particles then need to separate into differing regions of the ash plume. There are then positive and negative zones, resulting in an electric field which allows lightning to shoot out of the air. The tall volcano had a lot more lightning than most volcanic eruptions because its plume managed to extend so high up into the freezing atmosphere. The double whammy of ice and ash particles led to numerous collisions, and lightning was a certainty to follow. The video just goes to show the awesome and frightening power of Mother Nature. And while it's beautiful to look at to an extent, it's also extremely dangerous for anyone living nearby. Lightning may be pretty to look at on camera, but it's also extremely dangerous. You don't want to be anywhere in harm's way if you can help it while a lightning storm rages on outside. Be sure to let us know in the comments what videos you want to see next. Thanks for watching this episode of Underworld, and we'll catch you in the next one.